Sounds like fun. Stop and have a brew. 12 hours out of Mackinac City. How far can you get on a bike in 12 hours? Well, Vince Concilio is here, the president of Abate, Michigan, and Herb Rials, a Lansing resident and a member of the Michigan Legislative Committee for Abate. Thank you, gentlemen, very much for coming.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
for
having
having
us.
us.
Abate stands for?
American Bikers Aim Towards Education.
Very good. And Amanda Wall, you just took for the ride, our executive. You rolled her away for a little while. That was your first time ever on a bike?
It was, and I guess I was schooled on the skills test.
Why? What do you mean?
I guess that if you do what we just did, the little U-turn, that's part of the skills test to pass to get your motorcycle license.
How did it feel to have something so powerful between your legs?
It felt great.
You weren't holding on or anything. You had.
I
you
was
had
a little bit,
Were you
but-
supposed to? Was she supposed to hold on because she had the wireless microphone in one hand and she was fixing her hair with her other hand?
That's a usual thing when you ride the women on the back. They want to make sure the hair is good.
There's no rear view
Blowing
mirror, is there?
around and wanted to make sure it looked nice on
She was
camera.
putting on makeup and texting and everything else. Weren't you scared? Was it? What did it feel like?
You know, it is funny because you would think that it was just a little ride. We didn't go very fast, but you do kind of have a little bit of adrenaline still right now, and I don't know what it is,
I
but
heard
it was
you.
a lot of
You
fun.
let out a sound as soon as the bike moved forward.
Oh, because it kind of startled me a little bit to
Did
know
it?
that I was actually going to go for a ride, and I knew I knew where we were going, but it's hard to have somebody else in control of something like that.
Now, is today the day? Well, first of all, I noticed both of you wore helmets
Yes.
on that little ride,
It's the law.
but she did not wear one.
Thank you for pointing that one out.
She doesn't have to, or she's supposed to also?
She was supposed to, but from the kindness of the city of Lansing, I think they give her a pass.
So you broke the law. Is that the first law you've ever broken?
Yes.
Okay. Now the point of it is though that you're getting some after years and years of lobbying and working with the legislature, 2 vetoes from Governor Granholm. It seems like you're on the brink of getting that law reversed so that people can ride helmetless in the state of Michigan. True?
Yes, true. But as you pointed out, I think between us we probably have somewhere between 5 and 10 tickets. That's probably the other reason why we both wore
Oh,
ours.
I see. You don't need one more on the pile
Right.
because you do that. I mean, that's what was that happening today at the Capitol where the people ride in without helmets?
They don't ride in. Some people choose not to ride in with a helmet. That's their form
Choice.
of protest. But it's the law in Michigan, and most people in Michigan abide by the law. We don't need a click it or ticket, program. We know that the law says you're supposed to wear a helmet, and we do. We just like the choice. And that's the one thing that people don't understand about Abate of Michigan is we are not against somebody wearing a helmet.
Mhm.
We're saying is it should be the adult's choice. The other thing that most people don't understand and what got me invested in this program was finding out that motorcycle helmets are only rated for 14 miles an hour.
Is that right?
That's it. And so once you look at that, then you start wondering how great of a safety device it is.
Mhm.
And then our program actually promotes safety because our program wants to move toward the argument of what do we do to prevent an accident? That's the only true way to bring down costs. Nobody's injured, nobody's hurt. As I say with the helmet, by the time the car hits your leg, shoulders, midsection, it gets to the helmet. How good is it by the time it gets there? A 2-ton vehicle versus a 1,000-pound motorcycle, it's no contest. You're going to get hurt when in a motorcycle accident.
Do you believe that people leave the state of Michigan to ride their bikes so that they can go helmetless?
I do.
Do you believe that people choose not to come to Michigan from other states that because they'd have to wear a helmet?
There's no question that they don't. We have many friends that we know from outstate organizations that do not come to Michigan as a direct result of it. When Governor Thompson in Wisconsin came through the UP about 10 years ago, they had to stop right at the border and buy 30 or 40 helmets for the entourage that was with them because they didn't have them.
Mhm.
So it's when Harley Davidson they have a party every so many years, 95th, the 100th, the 105th, the 110th. They do not have Michigan as a route going through Michigan as a direct result of the helmet law.
The point is that you're making, I think, is that somebody should have the choice. In other
Yes.
words, there will be a lot of bikers who have the option and just choose to stay with the helmet anyway. And so,
Well,
God bless them, that's what they want to do.
Even in the 2 most current states that have repealed, Florida and Pennsylvania, in the fatality rates, about 53% of the fatalities are wearing helmets.
53%.
Yes. So this is one of the things. The great thing about the internet is that when a person can go investigate this themselves. We don't make up these numbers, and if you truly look at the numbers, they don't correspond with the so-called safety people, what they're saying. And if you read the safety people's thing, they're always saying it's an estimate that the helmets are this effective, it's an estimate this helps, it's an estimate. But when you look at the actual numbers, and this is one of the reasons why we've been able to be effective, is when a person sits down and looks at all the numbers, they go, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, my God, that's not what people say. And that's why we're effective in lobbying and getting stuff done down in Lansing.
If you look at the states around Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Wisconsin, and you add up those fatalities over, and we use the NHTSA statistics from the federal government from 1994 to 2007, and you compare them to Michigan per 10,000 as far as the fatality rate. Michigan has a higher fatality rate than those non-helmeted
No kidding.
states.
The other thing is that people don't understand there's 30 other states that already allow adult choice, or even some have no age restrictions whatsoever. So this isn't a social experiment in Michigan where we're going to, be the first one to stick our toe in the water and see if it's going to work. 30 other states have done this. And, so what we keep telling people is what do they know that we don't know? People, Michigan legislators spent $10 million on Pure Michigan program. We're sitting there going, we have thousands of people that email us in organizations all over the state that want to come to Michigan. And it's like, why don't we open up our doors? Because it does make that big of a difference to people.
Herb Riles is a Lansing resident and the Michigan Legislative Committee of ABATE. They don't make you wear a helmet when you ski.
Right, and we've heard every argument, everything anybody ever said to us about why you should wear a helmet. You can refute it. And the situation with ABATE is we're not just about, we do legislative activities, but we have two other arms of ABATE. One is the Writers Education Program through the state of Michigan. We monitor that and make sure that it's taken care of at no cost to the taxpayer. The second part is we have done an awareness program where we go into classes and teach driver's ed students, and we pay for this out of our own pocket. We've done this since 1995, and we've taught over 75,000 kids talking about share the road with motorcycles. And this is the kind of program that we think is effective, and so that people look twice, save a life, see a motorcycle, don't run us over.
Vince Concilio, president of ABATE, thank you very much. Have fun at the rally today.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know that I'll ever have a motorcycle, but I would be interested in a Vespa. That would be kind of more my style, I think, don't you? Buzz around town in a Vespa?
That would be you.
Born to be wild on a Vespa. Amanda Wall's broken the law right here and climbed onto a bike and grabbed onto a hunk of man and took a little spin. She'll never be the same again. She now is born to be wild on this Hump Day Wednesday.
I like smoking